Hello, 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 and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, just in case you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Tawana Bryant Osborne, and I am an accountant, tax strategist, and owner of Bryant Business Solutions. I am on a mission to help service-based small business owners increase their net profits and reduce their tax liability so they can build long-term wealth. Now, in this week's video, we'll be going over deductions. Specifically, we'll be breaking down 5 tax deduction tips for real estate professionals. As business owners, you hear the word thrown around all the time. Deductions this, write-offs that. But what exactly are they and why should we even care? If you want the answer to all of these questions and more, keep on watching. Our job is to make sure that we're not putting you in a position that is going to raise red flags. These are things that typically, as a taxpayer, you're not studying to figure out, oh, okay, this is going to trigger an audit. Not that you can ever avoid an audit. None of us are 100% free of audits, okay? Let's get that understood now. Okay, are you ready? Let's get started. To start out, why don't we cover exactly what a deduction is? Now, a couple of weeks ago, we briefly touched on the definition of deductions, but we'll go over it again just for good measure in case you missed it. A tax deduction is basically made up of the purchases you made throughout the year that you can write off as a business expense. In the end, you are decreasing your overall taxable income, i.e., less income to pay on taxes. If you aren't taking advantage of all the deductions available to you, you're basically leaving money on the table. In general, folks, the most common tax deductions like car payments, if it's leased, interest, marketing expenses, but there's so many that's hidden in plain sight. Now that we've got a good handle on the basics, let's dive into 5 not as commonly known tax deductions that every real estate professional should learn about. Deduction number 1, clothing. Although it isn't often considered as such, clothing is an incredibly important part of office purchases when it comes to working in real estate. Purchasing new work clothing throughout the year is mandatory to the growth of your business, which means it's covered as a necessary business expense. Now, as long as the clothing is purchased is for work, it meets the following criteria, you'll be able to claim it as a deduction, but it must be essential for your practice, be unsuitable for streetwear, and you can't wear it outside of your business. So deduction number 2, vehicle-related expenses. While a lot of folks know that car payments, if leased, and insurance counts as deductions, there is a whole slew of other vehicle-related purchases that you can include in these deductions, like parking fees, tolls, car toolkits, mileage, and the list goes on. Deduction number 3, working from home. Never underestimate the breadth of coverage when it comes to home office deductions. This doesn't only include your internet bill and computer equipment, it's your power bill, your water bill, any supplies or furniture purchased for your office throughout the year, your insurance, the list goes on. Deduction number 4, legal and licensing fees. Now, the 4th deduction on this list I've noticed is often overlooked, surprisingly. But legal and licensing fees, this includes all legal and fees for licenses for your business to draw up client paperwork, renew your state license, maintain professional memberships, etc. All of this can be written off as deductible on your taxes. And deduction number 5, education. Did you participate in any workshops, seminars, classes, or skill shops throughout the year? If you did, Any work-related skill acquisition training, these can be included as deductions. Now, since this education contributed to your career and the growth of your business, it can be written off. In closing, there we have it. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around. Hopefully you learned something about deductions and feel inspired to take a deeper look at what you can claim as deductions during this tax season. If you're looking for even more deductions, check out my tax deduction cheat sheet for real estate professionals. Not only is it free to download, but you can also end up saving even more money when filing. Don't forget to check us out in the description below to get all the details on how to get on my schedule if you're needing some support with filing. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more, make sure you hit the thumbs up and click the big red subscribe button in the description. I have a new video coming out each week where I'll share all the juicy details of everything I've learned throughout my career and how it can completely change the way you do accounting in your business. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.